Chapter 3 Wonderful Highway. It is twisting, convoluted, sometimes dangerous, painfully slow, and the most glorious highway I've ever had the pleasure, and sometimes discomfort, to drive. Highway 1 winds up the coast of California, through some of the most scenic sections of coast one could imagine. I've driven it more times than I can remember, and it still captivates me. From Dana Point to Santa Monica, Highway 1 is a city street, busy and uninteresting. From Santa Monica to Oxnard, it's somewhat scenic as it passes Malibu and the Santa Monica Mountains. Then it gets absorbed by US 101, a more efficient road. However, just past Gaviota, where 101 turns inland, where Southern California suddenly becomes Central California, one branches off again, passing through the town of Lompoc. But it doesn't follow the coast again until Pismo Beach. Vandenberg Air Force Base closes the road to non-military people. Then the real one begins, as it passes from Morro Bay through Big Sur and one of the greatest meetings of land and sea, a place where winter rains can often cause slides that close the road for weeks, which is, in my mind, part of the charm, particularly if you know alternative ways to access the coast, so that one can, with some local knowledge and planning, have a section of the highway virtually to oneself. I've done this, and have written about it, so I won't say much beyond that a winter causes slides, which also causes a spring that can be lush and breathtaking. And if you've never had a highway with coastal views all to yourself because much of the road is washed away, you've missed something grand, the opportunity to see things up close that you normally only see driving by. For something like 100 miles, from Cambria to Carmel, there are no signals, no stop signs, no reason to stop, except for the fun of visiting the many delightful places along the road, along with the delightful and often unusual people. Then in Carmel, you'll have lights, and they should alert you to stop. Drive down the hill to the town and to one of the most beautiful beaches in California. Art and perfect beaches make Carmel a place I've visited more often than I can remember, a place I never tire of. It's a freeway through most of Monterey County. From Carmel past Old Fort Ord, now a kindler and gentler place with a university and hiking trails, rather than a military base where fresh-faced young men were trained to follow orders, keep their boots polished, and to kill people they've never met. One can sense the irony while walking through an oak woodland, enjoying the patches of wildflowers. The Santa Cruz-San Mateo coast is one of those wonders, a stretch that people tried for years to develop but were stopped by a very active and educated community. Now it is open, scenic, and inviting. There is more public land along this stretch than development. State beaches, parks, open space. It's a place for hikers and surfers and people who want uncrowded beaches. One of the parks, called Coast Dairies, was something we locals fought for and eventually won. Redwoods, rolling hills, birdsong, fog that flows in and then retreats over the ever-present sound of the surf make this a sane respite from the traffic and stress of the Bay Area just over the hill.